Hello everybody, and welcome to Kobe's Classroom, the visual guide for the fight the Forked Tower Blood Lockwards and Boss 4. This is the final fight in the Forked Tower Blood, and after completing it you'll be awarded with your Demon Brick Mount, Final Field Notes, and Survey Point. It's been a while since the last video, so let's get started. After we beat the Marble Dragon, we move into a new area. In the first hallway, there will be one trap. After we clear it, we can proceed into a much larger central room. This room has a couple ads patrolling in front of a lock mechanism. We can find one supermine in front of the ads and pull them. None of the ads in this section are really scary or anything, so we'll be going through it pretty quickly. Just like in the hallways, time mages should be slowing every ad in this area. The only thing to note about these first ads is that one tank needs to point the petroglyph, which is the big stone guy, away from the group because he does cleaving autos. While the group is dealing with them, we can send our thieves and either a tank or ranger to clear some traps on each side. In the connecting hallway there will be one mine, and then in the branching area there will be one mine and one supermine. Once all the traps are clear, we all meet on the west. The first room we handle is the southwest room, which has a Guardian Wraith. This has two abilities, Scream, which is a large point blank AoE, and Lingering Resentment, which is a targeted circle AoE. Both easily dodgeable with a time mage slow. While everyone else is dealing with that, we can send a tank, a healer, and all players with a doom, so Phantom Samurai, Cannoneers, and Oracles to the west room. Here we'll find the Guardian Berserker. He basically just has one attack, Raging Slice, where he aims at a random player and does a line AoE in front. He has a buff that makes him essentially immune to all damage, so we need to kill him with either EI Nuki, Phantom Fire, or Phantom Doom. It's entirely RNG whether you kill him instantly or if it takes a few tries. In the northwest room we'll find the Guardian Golem. We send one tank in there to start the fight. Its first ability is a large black AoE. Anyone hit by this will get a toxic minerals debuff that turns into a cleansable doom in 20 seconds. Once this attack goes off, all other players can go in and kill it before it does it again, dodging some AoEs, which are all very telegraphed with a time mage slow. The only one of note is the large circle that needs to be interrupted. Early groups used to send the party with an oracle in here to handle this ad since they have an AoE cleanse, but it's pretty slow doing that, and lots of groups don't even bother taking oracles anymore. The west side is clear, so we move to the east, starting in the northeast with the Guardian Knight. This guy has an invincibility debuff that needs to be dispelled by a time mage every so often, and then slowed. He opens the fight with Buster Knuckle, a point-blank AoE, followed by an untelegraphed donut. From here, he just casts Line of Fire, which is a line AoE in the direction he's facing. This does go through walls, so anyone standing behind that corner would be dead here. While people are dealing with that, we send our Phantom Samurai and Rangers into the East Room. Here they'll find 3 Guardian Bats. These ads have very high evasion, but we can use Zenonage and Phantom Aim to guarantee hits on them. They don't have much HP, so they die quickly. The only thing they really do is Aero 3, a raid wide. Once the bats are knighted down, all players meet in the southeast room for the final ad, the Guardian Weapon. This ad has a buff which makes his attacks hurt a lot, so we need a thief to run in and use Pilfer Weapon to dispel the buff. And then we just kill it. It does a very small circle and line AoE, but if it still had the buff, these would wipe the raid. Back in the center room, you'll see some pillars with a red glowing segment showing you how many people you need on the pads in the associated room. While people are doing that, we have our players with interrupts line up facing the lock, A1 west, B2 middle, C3 east. We're going to get a couple waves of ads that need to be interrupted. This is the order we do it in. You can get through this with just 2 people in each line, but for a full run, you'll want 4. Once everyone's ready, we can activate the locking mechanism and the Lockwards start spawning. Interrupt their cast in the lineup order. If the cast goes off, the locks reset and you have to go stand on all the pads again. During the 4th wave, the lock can be opened by pressing the button again, but this will skip the bonus room. If you're continuing, the spawn rate starts to increase, so get ready on your interrupts. During wave 8, a big glowing Master Lockward will take the place of the middle one. Do not interrupt the Master Lockward, you need him to get his cast off, which will do a raid wide. And then you just do it again, but skip after wave 4. In the vault, we have the final trap area. This first room has one mine and one super mine, and there will be one mine in one of the hallways on the left or right. The first room on the left has a chest in the middle and a mine surrounding it. Unveiling a hidden wall will reveal another hallway with one sanguinite if you did full Lockwards, and a giant room with a map of the Occult Crescent South Horn. If you press the button in front of you, a glowing mark will appear on the map. A sanguine recluse has spawned here, and players outside can kill it for 2 sanguinite, and a bonus chest after the final boss. Down the other hallway will be a small chamber, and then another hallway with a hidden wall, with one trap in it. At the end of this hallway is a locked door requiring a max level thief with 2 chests inside. Surrounding these chests are 2 mines. Finally, we have the staircase to the final boss. There's a total of 3 mines on this staircase, with a knowledge stone to rebuff at the end. Now that we're at Magitaur, there's a couple things to go over before we start that will make understanding the mechanics easier. The first are the waymarks. We use these ones, which are called BAP waymarks, after the group that made them, and are used to help dodge a mechanic. The way these work is everyone has the same A1, B2 and C3 waymarks, which also shows your group square, but you use the D waymark in your square. I'll be showing D for all groups. If you're placing these manually, you can see that each square has smaller sub-squares that you can use to help you place them. This arena is split into 4 distinct areas, the 3 squares and the entire outside. While the outside of these squares are glowing, the different areas are active and certain attacks and abilities will target players in specific regions. Furthermore, if certain magic attacks clip any part of a region while it's active, it will erupt the entirety of that area, kind of like Zelenia's Rosebloom. So just as a rule of thumb, always be in your square unless there's a reason not to be, and don't clip any AoEs with any other region. Magitaur has 2 different weapons, an axe that glows yellow and a lance that glows blue, that he'll equip throughout the fight. If he has an axe out, his auto attacks will hit the 2 closest players in each region with mini tank busters, so tanks close party on the hitbox. If he has a lance out, these will hit the 2 furthest players in each region, so tanks far party on the hitbox. Finally, there's 2 attacks that you'll see a lot throughout this fight. Critical axe blow, which hits the entire outside and a circle around the boss, so the corners of the squares are safe, and critical lance blow, which hits each square and a donut around the boss, so in and on the wedges between the squares is safe. Okay, with all of that out of the way, we can get started. This fight starts with a raid-wide, unsealed aura. Next, the boss equips a weapon. This first one is random. Here it's a lance, so tanks far and mitigate the autos. Assassin's Dagger is the mechanic that we use the waymarks for. Magitaur will start telegraphing some line AoEs. He's going to throw some daggers out that return a second later along the same line, then fire them out again in a different spot. This happens 6 times total. To start, we stand on the letter or number waymark in our square so that the telegraphed line is on our right. We stay here for 3 daggers. During the 3rd daggers, the boss starts casting a critical axe or lance blow, which resolves halfway through the 4th dagger. If we have axe blow first, we can just move out for it roughly in line with the D waymark. If we have lance blow first, we need to be on the same side of the wedge that the 3rd dagger hit, because the 4th will hit the other side. So here, the 3rd dagger hit the right side, so we move in and on the right to be safe. After the axe or lance blow, we move to the D waymark to dodge the 5th and 6th daggers. The boss starts casting the other axe or lance blow. This resolves about a second after the daggers finish, so you should move for it during the 6th daggers. That's that. So just to recap, because you'll see this 3 times throughout the full fight, stand on the letter or number waymark so that the telegraph line is on your right, stay there for 3 daggers, avoid the axe or lance blow, then move to D. Finally, dodge the other axe or lance blow. After the main mechanic in each phase of the fight, we have Forked Fury, which reactivates the squares and does a tank buster on the closest and furthest target. For this we have the letter tanks close and number tanks far, then handle 2 more weapon autos. A yellow and blue conduit pops up behind each square, and a purple conduit pops up between 2 squares. as the boss starts casting Holy or Aura Burst. This is a very heavy hitting raid wide that wipes the raid if the conduits aren't dealt with in time. To handle them, we need to destroy the conduit with the same colour or name as his weapon. We have each group destroy the conduit behind their square before helping other groups. He has a lance here, so all players would target the blue lance conduits. A berserker needs to focus on the purple conduit, standing on the outside of it and using rage to kill it. When this dies, it will shoot a beam at the closest player, confusing anyone hit, but rage makes you immune to it. When the other conduits are destroyed, they do attacks that will kill the two closest players, so we need tanks or knights to invuln or pledge this. After the correct conduits are destroyed, we can mitigate the raid wide. This first set is the hardest DPS wise. We're on to the second phase, which we can call Axe phase. This starts with a bit of an intermission mechanic called Sage's Staff. Magitaur spawns 3 staffs on one side of the room. These do line stacks targeted on the closest player. We get an axe blow or lance blow to dodge. Then all players just stand right in the middle of the room to soak all the line stacks together, since they don't give a magic vuln. If you get axe blow, it helps to sprint to make it in time. Some groups have a different spot that they stack on. I believe some NA groups use the A waymark, but it's the same idea. The boss will spawn 3 more staffs on the opposite side, then do the other axe or lance blow, then we stack in the middle again. This is followed by a raid wide, so use some mitts. The boss casts Unseal. This one is always an axe, so tanks close for 3 autos. Rune Axe is the first real major mechanic of this fight, where wipes can happen easily from one person making a mistake. All players need to be in their square during the cast. Debuffs are given to players in certain squares. If someone's in the outside region, it gets messed up. These debuffs just do circle AoEs of different sizes with different timers. This mechanic always plays out the exact same way every time. You just need to recognize if you have a debuff and don't greed, because if your circle overlaps with any other region, it will kill at least one person, usually an entire group or the entire raid. 3 people in the A1 square will get either an 8-second big circle, 20-second big circle, or 12-second small circle. 2 people in the B2 and C3 squares will get either a 12-second small or 20-second small circle. To start, we have the first big circle player move all the way out to the wall north. This erupts the outside. Next, the 3 12-second small circle players go to the middle of their square, and the rest of the raid moves in for a lance blow. After the squares erupt, the small circle players need to dodge the lance blow. There's not much time here, so you need to be ready to move. Finally, the 20-second big circle moves out to the north, and the 2 remaining small circles in B2 and C3 go to their square. All other players go to the A1 square. There's axe autos firing at random players here, so healers be ready. Once the final debuffs go off, the mechanic's over. Everyone returns to their square for a Forked Fury tank buster. Letter tank in, number tank out. Then 2 more close autos, and another round of conduits. Since this is always axe phase, this will always be focusing the yellow axe conduit. This happens during your 2-minute window, so the conduits die very quickly. Tanks need to be ready for the invulnerable pledge. Phase 3, the lance phase, starts with another assassin's dagger. It's the exact same as the first one. Here would be starting on the letter waymark. Unseal will equip a lance, so tanks take far autos. Holy Lance is the major mechanic of this phase. Just like Rune Axe, you need to be in your square during this cast, or the debuffs will not be applied correctly. 3 players in each square will get a stack debuff with different timers: 16 seconds, 24 seconds, and 32 seconds. This also plays out the exact same way every time. In clipping other regions with your stack will explode that region, killing all players in it, so don't greed. 12 lances drop down clockwise from north. This is the order that they'll go off in, erupting the area that they're touching. First, we move in for a lance blow, then back to our square as the first stack markers appear. The first lance goes off, and the C3 players get ready to move out of their square. All other players stand in the middle of their squares to take the stack. Don't greed. Once the stacks resolve, the next group, B2, can position to move out, and C3 get ready to go back in after 1 more lance. When the outside erupts from the 5th lance, B2 moves out, and we just repeat the process. Middle of square for stacks, A1 get ready to move out, B2 in, and when the outside erupts, A1 out. During the second lance in the A1 square, the boss starts casting an axe blow. B2 and C3 can already move for this, but A1 have to wait for the final spear before moving in. It's very common for people to get skittish and move too early, but you just need to be patient. This ends with an unsealed aura raid wide. The major mechanic is over, so we have another Forked Fury Tank Buster, then 2 more far autos, then more conduits. For these ones, I recommend using Fizz Ranged LB on the conduit and the boss, or if you're really worried about DPS, just melee LB the conduit. The final mechanic is another Assassin's Dagger, and then we have the Enrage cast. And that's it. If you managed to clear, congratulations. If not, you'll get it next time. If the Sanguine Recluse was defeated, you'll have a bonus chest with some more Sanguinite, otherwise you'll just have one chest with a chance of a triple triad card. Going up the steps at the back, you'll find the library with the final survey point. You can find your Demon Brick mounting your achievements, and you can find me on Twitch or Twitter at BigKobeLive, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace!